Welcome! My name is Michelle and I am your emotional resilience coach, and it is fantastic to have you with me here today. I teach you to take your power back and to no longer be a victim in your own life. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you have had enough of repeating the same patterns in your life that you realize are not working for you, if you have just had it with feeling sick all the time, with feeling taken advantage of all the time, feeling that you just keep giving and you are not getting the results that you're hoping for, if you are just stuck in patterns that aren't working for you and you are looking for ways out, ways to take your power back, ways to no longer feel like a victim in your own life, then welcome. That is what I do. If this resonates with you, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and the notifications button, and come with me on this journey to stand in our own power, own our stories, and just be the best versions of ourselves. Okay, so today what we're going to be chatting about is name it to tame it. All right, what am I talking about? I am talking about emotions. Now, as a trauma survivor, I am very aware of the habit and the need and the drive and almost a sense of urgency to suppress our emotions. I have done past videos, so please do go and have a look about what it means to sit with our emotions, what it means to process our emotions. It is such an important part of the healing process. We really need to learn how to do this. Part of what trauma actually is are emotions that are stuck. We have just pushed them and suppressed them so much, and emotions are our messengers, that they just sitting there like this ball of tangled wounds that need attention. And part of the growth process is learning to understand our emotions, to learn to understand what it is that our body is telling us. What is it that we're experiencing? Our experiences are our lesson. So what are we actually experiencing? All right, what are we going through? And if you haven't yet, please do go back and check out the previous video on learning to sit with your emotion. It is a fantastic tool that allows you to start honoring your body, recognizing what's going on inside so that you can have more power and control over what is going on with you. Now, I know that as we go along, it is not always convenient to process our emotions in the moment. Sometimes it is very necessary to contain our emotions so that we can deal with what we have to do. Maybe you're sitting with a boss. Maybe you're sitting in a place where having a meltdown right now, going through the emotions is not going to help you. It's just going to stifle you, it's just going to be awkward, it's going to be uncomfortable, and it's just going to actually compound the whole experience and make it a lot worse for you. So sometimes it is really necessary for us to contain our emotions temporarily and then come back to them and process them and sit with them and figure out what the message is in a more quiet time when we can actually go through it properly and allow ourselves the space to figure out what is going on. However, what we don't want to do is let it escalate either and we blow up. We might just start crying and it seems to be out of nowhere. All right, a really nice tool to help just calm that limbic system is to name the emotion. So our bodies are fantastic. Our bodies give us the information about what is going on with us, sometimes before we're even consciously actually aware of what is happening. So I will give you for instance. A couple of months ago, I needed to be somewhere for an interview where I wasn't really comfortable with going to the place. The building holds a lot of negative energy for me, and I wasn't looking forward to the experience. My husband needed to be there, my daughter needed to be there, and it was a part of a journey that we needed to take for the next step. All right, so I went, and as part of the process, living in the times that we do, they needed to take our temperatures. I had been fine all morning. I got there, my temperature was taken, and it was high. And luckily, the person who was taking my temperature was actually a friend of the family's, and he looked at me and he said, "Whoa, this is really high." And I started to panic, and I looked at my husband, and my husband just said to me, "Just breathe." And obviously, automatically with the mask on, I was feeling claustrophobic. And again, my husband was just breathe. It's okay, you've got this. And so my temperature was taken again, still too high. I started laughing out of nervousness. I took a step back, couple of deep breaths, focus, went forward, took my temperature the third time, and I was able to go in. I stayed in that building for as little time as possible. As soon as I could, I felt that I was able to, I left, I excused myself, I went, and I waited in the car for my husband and my daughter, and by the time I got home, I was fine. There was no temperature, I wasn't hot, I wasn't shaking. So this was something I learned that my body does to tell me that I'm under duress, that I'm feeling stress. My body temperature rises. So that was a very good lesson for me to learn and understand. So fast forward a couple of months to just this weekend, and I was in a situation where my husband and I were trying to run errands, and we were trying to get them done as quick as possible. So we split the errands up. So my husband ran one way, I ran the other way, and I walked into a shop, and being month end, the shop was crazy. I was not familiar with the shop. I think I've been there maybe 3 times, so I didn't know the layout very well. I wasn't sure where everything was so that I could get it done as efficiently as I possibly could. And I found myself pacing up and down a few times, revisiting aisles just to get like necessities. And I still forgot some stuff that my husband had to run to the shop later to get. But it was a little bit of an overwhelming experience for me. Because of social distancing, when standing in queues, some of the queues, because it's month end and it was so busy, were actually going down the aisles that we needed to shop in. And it was just chaotic, and I just felt a lot of overwhelm. But I wasn't understanding yet, right? I was just white knuckling in the moment, go, go, go. Get what you need to get so that you can get out. By the time I got to the counter, the cashier had left to try and sort out this pandemonium and put people in different lines and make spaces. And I noticed she had gone. And when I noticed she had gone, I had a moment to kind of focus in and check in with what's going on with me. And this is when I realized that my body was hot. I felt like I was getting a temperature. I was getting claustrophobic. My mask was not helping. I was shifting, so I was fidgety. I had shortness of breath, and my heart was racing. And so what I did was I named it to tame it. I didn't have time to go through the whole process of sitting with my emotions. I mean, you can't do it. You're in the middle of a shopping center. But what I can do is I can name it to tame it. So I recognize these bodily sensations. I have experienced these things before. I know what this is. This is anxiety. I am starting to experience anxiety because I have overwhelm, because where I am is chaotic and there's a lot of people, and I am just really uncomfortable. I don't want to be there. So what I do is I say to myself, I recognize all these sensations, and then I say, oh, this is anxiety. You're okay. You're safe. You've done anxiety before, and you just speak yourself through it. You've done it before. You can do it now. This is going to be all right. And you just allow yourself to calm down. You talk yourself through it. You're feeling stressed. You're feeling anxious. You're feeling overwhelmed. And it is completely understandable. And it's okay. You can do this. And I was going to wait for my husband, but what I did is I went straight to my car. I climbed in my car. I did my deep breathing, which I've explained in other videos. It really, really helps. And I phoned my husband and said, I'm in the car. And he's just such a gentle soul. He didn't question. He said, all right, I'll see you in a minute. And he came shortly afterwards and he drove. And as he drove away, I could already feel my body temperature dropping, my heartbeat getting back to normal, my breathing settling. I was no longer in overwhelm. What could have been a full-blown panic attack, what could have escalated into something that I would have had no control over, I was able to contain in the moment just by naming what it was that I was feeling. When we name it, what happens is it integrates the right and left hemisphere, and it allows the limbic system. Remember, the limbic system is where our stress responses reside. When we kind of jump out of our window of tolerance, that we kind of jump out of our comfort zone into a stress environment and we go into those fight, flight, freeze, fawn places, what happens is that naming it, here we are allowing ourselves to use our cognitive brain to tell our reptilian brain, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, and it allows the limbic system to settle a little bit. It's still a little bit on high alert. There seems to be danger, there seems to be fear, there seems to be overwhelm, but talking yourself through it allows your cognitive brain to still drive the wheel and say, okay, our body is telling us something, these sensations are coming up, this is what's happening for us, it's okay, we've done anxiety before and it's normal, all right, we've got through it, it didn't kill us, we can breathe through this, we're going to be okay, all right, that's what it means to name it, to tame it. Give it a try. Let me know in the comments. Tell me how you find naming your emotions in stressful situations calms you. It does take practice. It takes practice and it takes knowledge of how your body talks to you. So keep at it, keep practicing it, and obviously the more you practice at it, the better it gets and the more success you will have. If this resonates with you, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and the notifications button. And as always, it is fantastic to chat to you. Have a most fantastic day.